At Arise Exchange, of course, you're watching Arise Exchange. Thank you for joining us, coming to you live from the nation's capital. But let's take a look at some other stories now. Nigeria's banking sector is reassessing the role of cash in a rapidly digitalizing financial system as the Committee of Heads of Bank Operations held the second edition of its annual conference in Lagos. Well, the event themed Reimagining the Future of Cash in a Digital-First Economy convened senior regulators and industry leaders to examine how cash can coexist with expanding digital payment channels. Opening the conference, the Central Bank of Nigeria announced that a new policy on card issuance and automated teller machine availability would soon be unveiled to improve cash access and strengthen coordination across banks. Speaking on behalf of the chief host, Tolulope Ogundipe underscored the importance of sustaining a balanced ecosystem where cash and digital platforms complement one another. Panelists at the forum echoed this position, stressing that financial inclusion, safety, and efficiency are best achieved through a hybrid model rather than the displacement of cash.
Digital payment is growing exponentially. We have about 276% on digital, and in terms of value and in volume, about 581%. But simultaneously, cash is also growing. This is a global trend that we have seen. In other words, cash remains king, and critical that this is maintained. The rural area and the underbank and the other sector of the economy still depend on cash in their execution. So it has to go through a process. Basically, there's engagement that is going on. I can't give more to that, but obviously it's talking about number of cards that is issued versus ATM that is in circulation. Like I said, it's going under review, and until that is finalized, a policy statement and a CBN position will be made known.
There are a lot of reasons for it. One of it is a culture. You go to various gatherings, social gatherings, church and everything, the emphasis is that give me cash, give me cash, give me cash. And when you want to buy something, and again, one of the things that is very, very paramount on the issue relating to digitalization is infrastructure. We have infrastructural inadequacies in the country. There's no point deceiving ourselves. Most of our rural areas don't have light, and how can you be talking of digitalization without light? There are the technology are not there. Even most of the technology we use they are foreign. So it takes it's very time consuming, and also it involves a lot of money, which we don't have as a developing and an emerging economy. But we believe with time, we don't need to fold our hands. We must continue to make appreciable progress along the line.
So the reality is you cannot completely eliminate cash. And to the extent that you cannot, you've got to make sure that both cash options are available as well as digital options. So it's not a question of is one better than the other. It's a question of making sure that those who still want to use cash have access to cash and it's available. And that those who adopt digital payment platforms have platforms that are safe, secure, and efficient. When we talk about offline payments, the question is, and we've had that over the years, to be honest, it's wallets, right? The question is, how do we get wallets stored? How do we get wallets stored in such a way that it would enable offline payments, but at the same time, when those cards or payment mechanisms come back into the ecosystem, we can then sort of almost bring them back into the system. Because what we're trying to solve for is we know that not every Nigerian has access to data.
Several existing policies of government through the Central Bank of Nigeria. I'm sure you heard what the Central Bank governor said in the during his keynote address. He emphasized the need and the current reviews that is going on vis-a-vis the issuance of cards by banks and the provision of ATM to meet up with the number of cards so that process is ongoing. Stakeholders engagement is going on. We are also key stakeholder in that process. So the government has put in place a lot of policies. There are a lot of guidelines by central bank to encourage, right, the users of cash in the appropriate way. So CBN is doing a lot, and our committee is working very, very assiduously. The current central bank governor believes in collaboration. He believes in ensuring that everybody that is a major player within the ecosystem is always well informed. Ideas are taken from us. We are properly engaged, and we, together with Central Bank, bring out a lot of initiatives that is helping the banking public.